It's a poison. That doesn't help the stress level. No, don't do it. Get a grip. This stupid video I just showed you. I almost stroked out and died over it. You're watching a different show. You donkey. You ain't a captain of nothing but a sinking ship. Don't do this to me, Harry. The Ohio State. It's Ohio State. What do you mean, the? 312-988-15.
Hello?
You tell Johnny all you've heard and seen. Sometimes it's good to just yell about football. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Welcome in. Welcome back, folks. Apparently, it's a manic Monday. You never know what you're going to get. I see some recruiting anxiety here and a problem with it that there's no easy answer for. I understand what the dynamic and what's going on and the history here and why it's making people nervous. I totally understand it. There's just no easy solution. That's where I'm getting stuck up in this is I can't think of a way to prevent the problem that people are having. So we'll get into that. We'll get into it. And I want to get into my list of things that would surprise me about the Notre Dame season. We were going to do that Friday, and then we didn't have time. I always get wrapped up with the calls, and then before you know it, we're 2 hours in, and I haven't done any of my stuff, and then it's still hanging there. But I want to talk about it, so we'll try that again. Dr. John, good morning. The question of the day: will WPP ruin the show for me again? We have a very interesting collection of people here, and everybody serves their role, and sometimes we have more or less patience for what's going on. It's good to see everybody here. Thanks for starting your week off. We'll go over some fun stuff here. I got a news story here that's going to make me lose my mind and freak out, and I want to go over that with you. I wrote the headline down here. We're going to get your reaction to it. And Dodger, can I ask you a question about that, by the way? Callers, 312-988-15, dialed up. I got Philly specials. Remember when I was making a big deal about zip lining last week? Phil and Erica were going to go on a trip, and he said he's going whitewater rafting and zip lining or whatever. And I said, I do the whitewater rafting, but I don't do the zip line. I've seen too many YouTube videos of that going wrong. And he said he's going to call up with a story today about something goofy that happened on this trip. So we're going to figure out what that is. So I'm going to wait for the Philly special to call in on that one. Main man Martinez got pulled over, starting his week out at 5 a.m, got pulled over. We got to go over that. We got problems in this chat. What the hell's going on? Dodger, let me ask you this. You're saying creatine affects hairlines. Dodger, I'm not joking. I'm not playing around. Since I started working out, and yes, like a little creatine gummy, just the 5 milligrams that's recommended, I pop one a day. I am not kidding. I feel like my hair is growing faster. I'm not kidding. I'm just saying ever since I've done that, I feel like my hair's growing out fast. The hair I do have. I'm still bald where I'm bald and receding where I'm receding. But I swear that my normal, how long it takes for me to go get a haircut again, I feel like it's going quicker. More protein out. I'm getting a lot of protein. I'm counting it out every day. I'm loading up on protein and that creatine. I'm not kidding. I feel like my hair is growing out faster. So I don't know. Wolf. Ow! The solar storm possibly coming tomorrow is messing with everybody. What does that even mean? Solar storm. Come, what is that? What does that mean? The sun's going to come crashing down? What's a solar storm? What does that even mean? I don't need these kind of worries. What's a solar storm? What, did the planets start crashing on my head? Or what? I don't even know what that means. What does that mean, a solar storm? Anyways, I'm going, I don't know, man. My hairline's it's rough, bro. I got the full Ronald McDonald minus the hash browns, dog. Well, serious. I got the whole, like, thick on the sides, thin on the top, baby. Who has a bigger forehead, John or a bluegill? How can you even be mad at that? That's funny. I can't believe Penn State fans are still talking that ish. According to a lot of entities that cover college football, they are the number one team in the country. I just can't handle it. I saw multiple outlets put out their predictions for this year, whatever, and they got Penn State number one. I can't understand it. Even if you said, is John having a midlife crisis? The problem is I'm way past half my life. Are you outside your mind, Mark? I'm 40. Do you think the way I operate, I'm looking at 80? You got to be kidding me. Half midlife crisis. Yeah, maybe when I was 24. Unbelievable. Midlife crisis. Bro, a lot of these entities are saying they got Penn State as the number one team. So my response would be, even if you used some way to be like, oh, well, look at their talent they have coming back. And, like, I could see this, look at the athletes they have. I think that's going to be whatever. How do you ignore James Franklin don't win no big games? Like, I don't understand how you just look right past that as like it's nothing. That's the part I don't get. His big game record is worse than Brian Kelly's, which is terrible. And you're telling me that's the number one team, but they never win any big game, and everybody just overlooks that? I mean, at your own peril, go for it. But that dude does not win big games, and he bothers me. He's a fake tough guy. Something about that guy drives me nuts. He drives me crazy. There's something about the guy bothers me. It's like he's like a fake tough guy. There's just something there that comes off to me like it's an act. And then when it comes to nut cutting time in a big game, he folds like a lawn chair going in your trunk after the picnic. I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all, man. I don't buy it at all. So I'll believe it when I see it. Yeah, I'm sure they'll be in the playoff again. You know why? Because Jay Carr, of course they're going to be in the playoff. You know why? Because here's what they're going to do. They're going to win 10 or 11 games. They should win because they roll out more talent on the field than the other teams that suck. But I got to bow down and say the Big Ten is the best thing ever, but they're going to have more talent than like 10 teams out that they play. And then they're going to lose 2 games, and then they're going to make the playoff and whatever. I will believe it when I see it. When I see them destroy Ohio State, then I'll give them credit for it. I'm not buying it, and it just drives me insane. I don't know how you totally can ignore the big game record and just totally overlook it like it's not a part of the equation. I don't get it. So if he proves me wrong, he proves me wrong. I used to be mad every year and come on here and go, how come on every preseason game, preseason list, I see Penn State like number 4 or 5 or 6 every single year, and they never win a big game, and I don't buy it or whatever. And now the same thing applies, but they're number 1. It's the same exact thing. He absolutely did, Ron. It's the same thing, man. So whatever. I'll believe it when I see it. I will believe it when I see it. Franklin is the worst big game coach in history. I'm telling you, man. Makes Brian Kelly look like Frank. I'm serious. That record that Franklin has makes it bothers me. It bothers me. It bothers me. It bothers me. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Sounds like Notre Dame. Number 1, my main man Martinez, $5 hour. A very blessed and good day to the greatest fans in the lands. I got pulled over by Steven Seagal. Oh, wow, let's make it a good week. What? Now, I know Steven Seagal is the real deal. I've seen videos of him policing or being a cop or whatever he's doing. That's incredibly bad luck that you would get pulled over by him at 5 a.m. or whatever you said it was. The last time I saw Steven Seagal, he was in that movie. What is it? I was watching it late at night. The last time I saw Steven Seagal, he was in a submarine, and he was a chef on this submarine, and then it gets taken over by Russian terrorists or something. And then he turns from the chef into the karate master, and he was kicking ass all over this submarine. It was hilarious. He was just a normal chef, and then he went nuts on all these terrorists. He went nuts in all these this submarine. I don't know, man. It's hey, God bless you, my main man Martinez. Up early in the day doing real man's work. Doing real man's work out there, baby. CNEP, what's going on? Domer Guy 88. Freeman recruiting has stayed steady for what it is. No, I mean, that's an interesting, I mean, yes and no. But like stay steady in reference to what? Stay steady like in comparison to what, I guess. So I don't know. But wait a second, Kat. Sounds a lot like Notre Dame, if you ask me. You're describing Notre Dame. No, I'm not. Marcus Freeman, I just wrote an article about this. Marcus Freeman is 4-2 against teams in the top 10 in his short Notre Dame career. In a dozen years, Brian Kelly won 3 such games. To me, that's a big difference. I just wrote an article about it yesterday. The research is fresh in my head. Brian Kelly won 3 games against the top 10 at Notre Dame in 12 years. Marcus Freeman's won 4 and only lost 2 in 3 years. That's a big difference. It's a big difference. And Kent, that may be, I mean, you're used to Ohio State or whatever your standard is. I'm just telling you, like, from the Notre Dame end, you're looking at Brian Kelly only winning 3 of those. And it's a 27% win rate for Brian Kelly at Notre Dame against the top 10. Marcus Freeman's at 66.7%. That's a big difference. That's a big difference. You're talking about 20. Yeah, the movie you're talking about is Under Siege. Yeah, that's it, Wolf. Under Siege, under the water. That ain't a place I want to be with a bunch of bad guys trapped in some underwater vehicle outside your mind. So, USC 22. Yeah, you lost. So that's one of the 2. And then Ohio State. I don't know. But I looked up and it was 4-2. So I don't know. But, dude, it's hard to say Notre Dame can't win any big games when they just won 3 playoff games in a row. All of those are big games, I guess. And then I guess you got to kind of credit Franklin for the first one. But that was kind of, I question the competition level. I question the competition level. Troy, this is on my list of things to talk about. Very good point. Very, very good point. Top 10 teams ain't Freeman's issue. It's the NIU, Marshall, Stanford teams that he has issues with. Franklin, don't lose to those type of teams. Yeah, that's the Brian Kelly effect. Brian Kelly got to the point where he started winning all those games, but then losing all the bigger ones, and it just made everybody lose their minds. It just made everybody lose their minds. And here's the other part. The other part is, are we going to buy in that we're past that? Are we going to buy in that Marcus Freeman has learned from all of this and we're past that and he's not going to have a letdown game like that? Because every time there's a letdown game, when you look back at the week leading into it, there was something that wasn't right. Ronald always has an excuse, John. Absolutely not. This is literally the opposite of that. Saying every one of those games we lost, you end up finding out behind the scenes, Notre Dame pulled off the gas. They didn't make everybody practice. They had a walkthrough on Thursday. They didn't feel the need to hit. They didn't feel the need to be physical. One of them was, what was it? Going to Louisville, I think it was that one year. It was, we're going to rotate. We're going to rotate. We're going to rotate linemen, and we're going to do the, we're going to go ahead and let a bunch of guys rotate in and get a bunch of snaps. Every time Notre Dame's done that under Freeman, there was something laid down in the week that sent the message to the team that they didn't have to take it serious. And you got burned every single time. You want me to believe a guy like Marcus Freeman isn't smart enough to correct that? Come on, man. It just happened last season. How can you forget it or move past it? Move past it. It haunts me every day of my life. What are you talking about? Move past it. It bothers me every single day. What I'm saying is, all of those instances in those games, there was something laid out in that week running up to him that made Notre Dame players not think they had to take it seriously. I sure hope Freeman's learned. I don't care if you're sore or not. You got to hit and have a physical practice and take the game serious. Talking about we're going to be able to rotate a bunch of linemen in or whatever. You're sending the message. We're going to kill these guys. Don't even worry about it. We played A&M and everybody's tired from the heat or whatever. So guess what? The next week before Northern, we're going to take it easy. We don't need to hit. You don't need pads on Thursday. Take it easy. It's only Northern. You can't do it anymore. You can't do it anymore. You just can't. So I would like to think, as smart of a guy as Freeman is, here's the good news about it. Kent, I'm glad you brought it up. It's very hurtful, but I'm glad you brought it up. The good news about it is none of those you could say, I don't know what went wrong. We took these guys seriously and we're fully prepared for everything and just played bad. No, you didn't. Every single one of those games had some weird thing that sent the message we don't have to take it serious. You can't do it anymore. You can't do it anymore. So Freeman's a pretty bright guy. He clearly knows this is a problem. And you the way you solve it is take every week serious. Take every week serious. You don't have the luxury to talk about we're going to be able to rotate people in and be able to just relax and ease into this game and we're too sore to hit. No. Go Irish. No letdowns this season, and Coach Freeman passes that hurdle. Well, you got to prove it. So it's very interesting to me. You're kind of ending up in a reverse Kelly situation. Towards the end, Kelly was beating, even if some of the games were close, Kelly was beating all of those teams you should beat. You have more talent than pretty regularly, and then losing. And then losing the big games, the needle mover games, right? So, and now you end up in an inverse problem where you're getting some of the high end results and then you're losing to the lower teams. So I don't know. I mean, multiple things can be true at the same time. I don't know what you're on a rager today. I don't know. So weak. You simply got outplayed against Northern. They had over 175 yards, rushing yards. Riley got sacked multiple times through bad interceptions. It wasn't a sneak game. Everything you're saying could be true, right in line with what I'm saying. You didn't take it very seriously. You didn't prepare for them the good way, and you got beat up. What do you mean? I don't know. Can't that line up with what I'm saying? You didn't take them seriously all week and then they beat you up. What do you want me to do? So I don't know, man. It's not good. It's not good. I admit it's not good. Jeez. And here's the other thing, man. I've said it before. I'll say it again, man. You do have an Ohio State problem if you're Notre Dame. It's just 1936, man, and Freeman's 0-3. So there's no way around that. I'm not trying to say there is. It's not good. It's not good. Kent, John will never criticize Coach Freeman. He needs to win those smaller level games. I don't know what else you want me to say. I've just spent 10 minutes ranting and how it's unacceptable. You have a narrative in your head you want to push, and you're going to spin whatever I say to fit the narrative that you want to fit to play your role here. So I don't know. I don't know. John will never criticize Freeman while I'm sitting here saying you got to get this corrected. It's embarrassing and it can't happen again. I don't know what counts as criticizing the guy. If I'm saying he messed up by not making everybody take it seriously heading into these ball games, that's exactly what I'm saying. Oh, man. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. If you'd beat NIU, you would have still finished second. I don't know. I don't know. It's whatever. Let's look at a couple chats, and then we'll do a call or two here, and we'll get this going. Coach Freeman wins 14 in a row. They ain't satisfied. Whatever. I mean, win the championship, and then we'll see. Right? Is that the standard? Mark with glasses. My prediction, 15-0 bye week. And we beat Ohio State, finally get the monkey off our backs. It would be, that would be pretty delightful. I told Mark with glasses this over the weekend. I told Mark, I forget, I think it was Friday night, Saturday night, something. I had a dream, and the dream was we were at that party I'm promising. If we ever win the championship, I've been promising I'm going to rent a place and we're going to have a huge party and everybody's invited. And the dream was, it literally, we were at that party. We rented out some huge building or a bar or something, and there was like a stage on it. And I'll never forget, like people were like, you know, mingling and drinking, and there's music and whatever. And then to start the event, me and Goolsby and Shane Gillis walked out on stage together to Queen's We Are the Champions, and everybody went crazy. And it was me, Goolsby, and Shane Gillis. And we walked out there on that stage in full party celebration mode. They were playing We Are the Champions, and everybody had tears in their eyes, and we're having a good time. And then I woke up and I realized none of it was real. Ruined my weekend. I was devastated. By the time I woke up and I realized that none of it happened and it wasn't real, I've been depressed ever since. Son of a buck. Anyways, whatever. And, you know, I see a lot of people going at Kent about like Michigan, you know, how about Michigan or whatever. The problem is, I understand that they want to beat Michigan like bad, but like you won the championship. So it's like, I can't. As much as I want to be like, yeah, you guys still can't beat Michigan or whatever, you beat us and won the damn championship. So it's like, I mean, I control them on getting owned by Michigan. And I do think it's psychological at this point. I don't think it's like as much physical. There's some block there with Michigan that they couldn't get past or through, apparently. But it's like, that's where this gets stuck. How much can you really troll an OSU person about Michigan when they beat you and won the championship? You don't have a lot of ground to stand on. So it's just tough. So I don't know. Whatever. Tom, I open out Luza Davis to Georgia. I don't like that visit. The slide. The Georgia visit's concerning because his dad played there. Again, here's the thing, you guys. How do you solve this issue? I've been thinking about this over the weekend too. How do you solve that issue? Because there's no easy way. It's easy to say, I want the 4-star guys that verbally commit to Notre Dame to shut it all down, just be all in on Notre Dame and that's it, and not want to visit anywhere. and they all love Notre Dame like Johnny does, and they're genuflecting at the grotto, and the whole thing is your whole life, and you are in love with it, and it represents your entire family's value structure or whatever. But I get all that. These kids aren't all loyal like that to Notre Dame, and we got to realize that as fans. What is the answer? I've been over it a million times. Somebody tell me it. Quit just bitching about the problem. What is the answer? And if your answer is, if you commit to Notre Dame, you can't take any more visits, congratulations, with an RKG full of John Kennedy. That's what you're going to get. So that's the issue here. If your answer is, say to guys, don't commit to Notre Dame unless you're done visiting anywhere, fine. You're going to get a bunch of try-hard 3-star Rudies and John Kennedys that love Notre Dame, and they just only want to be at Notre Dame. And they're not getting pursued by Georgia and Ohio State and whatever, and getting offered all this money and all this other stuff. Right? So I don't know. So there's no easy way to solve this, because if you take that hardline stance, you're not going to land a lot of the top guys. That being said, you do have a historical record here of losing some of the top guys out of all your classes. So I don't know. See, you guys, some of you guys are asking when I'm going to block these guys and all this stuff. Some of it, like, it's fun for me to have pushback. It's fun. I enjoy when I get called out, or like some absurd take from Ronald or Commander I find that fun. So I don't know. I find that fun to me. And when they cross my line, then I'll put them in timeout or block them or whatever, do that for a while. But I like the disagreement. I like somebody that I know that likes Notre Dame, but is playing the alter ego that, like, I don't mind being challenged in that way. And then when they cross the line, then I put them in timeout. But if it's just like football stuff here, then I don't usually mind it. But I like having stuff to be able to push back on when it's totally like against me or whatever, but it's coming from Notre Dame people. I don't mind that as much as some people do. What I think is boring is logging into a Notre Dame show and everybody agrees with everything and everybody's on the same side and there's no pushback and whatever the host says is gospel and everybody just agrees with everything the host says and bows down. And if there's one disagreement, they're blocked. That is boring. Boring. Audience capture. That's called audience capture, and it's boring. And it makes the host look good because they look like a genius and everybody agrees. But I don't operate that way. I don't want that. That's boring to me. Absolutely boring. This is a really good point by Pat, actually. Really good point. Everybody's welcome to block the trolls on their own, and then you don't see their comments. Everybody could do that. Everybody could do that. So, like, you could feel free to do that if you want. But, like, as the host, I think it would be completely boring to have everybody agreeing with me and not have some pushback from our own fan base. Totally boring. I'm not interested in that. That's audience capture. And I would argue that's almost more toxic than having some trolls in here to balance things out. Because then you start getting this complex that everything you say is gospel and right and everybody agrees with you and that's just not healthy. I don't like that. But that is a good point. Anybody can block anybody you want. Anybody can block anybody you want. That's a good point. Couple more chats. We'll go back to the calls. We got a few. And then we're going to see if Phil calls in. Please provide an update on Mom Tex ND. She is home. We have follow-up appointments for stuff, but she is home and feeling better, trying to get stronger out of the hospital. Follow-up appointments coming. Hopefully she's hopefully nothing else blows up. Again, Commander, you say things that are just not real. June, July's been when we lose the top recruits every year under Freeman. Does it have anything to do with the 2 months of vacation he takes or something else? That has never been true. That never happens. That is not true at all. I believe there's a 1 week window where Freeman does something with his family, and I believe that that's perfectly legitimate, and I think he deserves to do that. But just the concept of this makes me laugh, how absurd it is. And the other thing is, it's like, where were all these people when I was criticizing Kelly for golfing and not trying to recruit, that covered for him? But then Marcus Freeman, the hardest working guy since Frank Leahy that we've had, the guy goes to like one of his kids. The guy goes to like one of his kids' athletic contests, and it's like, he's not even trying. Get in there, recruit. Marcus Freeman works his ass off for this place. Like, you want to be mad about NIU, be mad about NIU, but I'm not going to be mad about that. That guy works hard, baby. That guy works hard. So I don't know. Whatever. Name someone who defended Brian Kelly. How about all of the legacy media until about the time he was gone? And then the tea spilled. It really rubbed me the wrong way. A lot of those people carried his water. And then right when he went to LSU on all their shows, they started saying, you know, behind the scenes, it wasn't really good. And they couldn't get him to recruit. And he was being mean to the donors, and he would go to the events and not talk to the donors and sit in the corner and be annoyed when people wanted to talk about Notre Dame. And we couldn't get him to go recruit. And we have a quarterback we're interested in, but he didn't want to go in the plane. Right after he leaves, the truth started coming out. Rubbed me the wrong way. Rubbed me the wrong way. So I don't know. Whatever. 567. What's going on? What's up?
Hey, what's up, John? How you doing, buddy?
Good. Just another Monday. What's up?
Can't. Okay, this guy comes in this chat every single day and does nothing but say things that 99% of this chat knows. He talks about our wide receivers all the time. He talks about our lack of size on the defensive line. This guy acts as if he knows our team better than we do, and we act like those aren't issues to us. Does he not?
Yeah, I've gone at him about that before too. He would keep saying wide receiver, John, wide receiver. And it's like, yeah, obviously it's a number one concern. Like, that's a default setting here. Like, it doesn't need to be brought up every day because it's an undergirding principle that we're all worried about that. Like, yes, he'll be like, you should be worried about. I'm like, I am, but that doesn't mean I'm going to talk about it every single day.
And I'm sure this is just pumping up this guy's ego right now. But here's a message for you, buddy. Okay? Good for Ohio State. Ohio State beat Notre Dame, okay? But Ohio State is supposed to beat Notre Dame, dude. You're getting players that Notre Dame cannot get, Kent. Notre Dame can't get your players. They go to Ohio State because they can't read. They don't go to school to play school, Kent. They go there to play football. Ohio State is a football factory, bro. Congratulations. You are good at football.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Like, that is what it is. Notre Dame is never going to have the players that Alabama, Georgia, and Ohio State does. And guess what, Kent? The margin of victory in the national championship game last year had no business to being that close. But we did that. And we're on our way to catching up to Ohio State, buddy. So keep on talking shit, Kent.
See, the problem I have is I like going back at somebody like Kent is kind of hard, isn't it? Because you were 0-3 against them with the former coach we have that grew up as a player there.
And we should be. That's
right?
My point. We should be. We don't have the roster that Ohio State has. We shouldn't beat Ohio State. We have no business beating them.
Man, it's really frustrating. It's just really frustrating, though, because you're trying to find an angle. And the Michigan angle, like, you can only get so much run out of that when they won the championship anyways and beat you. Like, there's not a lot of angles here for the Notre Dame fan to pile on Ohio State. And then if you're going to say the grades or the school or whatever, then it's like, well, that sounds kind of weak. You know what I mean? You can't beat them. So now you're trying to be like, oh, whatever. So there's really not an easy answer. And it's very, very frustrating. The only answer is find a way to beat Ohio State.
I hear you. And eventually I think that it will happen. And everybody always all these Ohio State fans always talk about, when was the last time Notre Dame beat Ohio State? What year was that? Was it in the 30s?
It was 1936.
How many times have we played from 1930s until now? How many times?
What is it? It's like a handful. Aren't we like 0-5 or something?
A handful. It's not like we play every year. We're going to beat these guys. We'll beat them. It's not a big deal, but this guy can't. I tell you what, get off your high horse, dude. Seriously, congratulations. You won a national championship. You should be winning national championships. Ryan Day should have way more than one. You guys have the players every year to do that. But yeah, this guy just gets on my nerves, man.
Oh, I get it. Hey,
that's right.
Hey, Tim Hyde says 0-7. Like, what can you say? Like, that's the problem, man. What can you say? 1936, and you haven't beat him since. Your new coach was a player there. You can't beat him. He's 0-3. They lose to their rival a bunch of years in a row, but are you going to lean on that when they beat you in the championship? Like, there's not a lot of angles here for Notre Dame to attack Ohio State on. That's how you end up in a state of, that's how you end up very frustrated.
There's not, and I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to say, I'm not trying to say that Notre Dame can beat Ohio State. I'm just trying to say Ohio State should be beating Notre Dame. So, I mean, you're sitting here puffing your chest out for that when, I mean, if you look, it's two different rosters. It's two completely different. In the Michigan thing, I don't even really want to get into that because I'm not an Ohio State fan. I'm here to talk about Notre Dame football, and this guy is an Ohio State fan on a Notre Dame chat, which is something else on its own, right? I don't have no idea why this guy does this every day. I mean, it's good for you, John, but
yeah, you know what, man? You know what? I honestly think about that. It does, like, I love the Notre Dame people, but I do like it when fans of other teams want to be here every day. I think that makes for a healthy ecosystem, too, to have some balance of some people that aren't all Notre Dame all the time in here. I think that makes for a healthy environment. It's mixing it up on a Monday in early June when there ain't shit going on. Like, that's interesting to me. I don't know. What does everybody want? Sure. Me to just go, Notre Dame's awesome, Notre Dame's awesome. Everybody tell me Notre Dame's awesome. That's boring.
No, John, that's not what I'm asking for. I'm just trying to understand what this guy's motive is here. Is he just that generally interested in Notre Dame football? Does he just like you that much? Like, because I don't think he's interested in Notre Dame football, because he comes here and he says the same stuff every single day. Your wide receivers aren't good enough. I don't know why anybody isn't saying that. Your defensive line's small. I don't know why nobody's saying that. Dude, we know our issues. Go look at your roster. We know your issues. If you're going to come here, that's fine. But be practical and stop saying the same stuff. It sounds stupid.
Yeah, listen, let's be very, very charitable to the host. Maybe Kent just likes John's personality, so it's must-watch TV. Maybe it just comes down to that. And then, listen, man, it always has got to feel good if you're a fan of an opposing team that kind of owns Notre Dame right now to sit here, because you always feel like you have the upper hand. So, like, there's always that, like, I don't know, man. It is what it is.
It is. I just wanted to get that off my chest. But, yeah, Kent, congratulations. You won the national championship. Everybody knows that. I guess keep coming here and saying the same things over and over and over again. That's what makes you feel good. So, yeah, I applaud you for that,
yeah,
buddy. But anyway, John.
Hey, don't let it raise your blood pressure on a Monday morning, buddy.
Oh, it don't bother me. I just wanted to put him in his place because it's not a good look.
Yeah, I have often responded to him with, quit putting things in here that we all know is a problem. But the receiver thing, especially, I'm like, dude, I know that's a concern, but I'm not going to sit here all summer and just talk about that. There's got to be more meat on the bone.
Yeah, but real fast before I get off here, John. The main thing for Notre Dame is this year is for me, we just need to prove we have staying power, because we have yet to do that yet with any of the coaches that we've had since Lou Holtz. So that's my number one thing. I'm not going to sit here and even say that we're going to be a playoff team. I think that we should be, but I think that we have a lot to prove in that regard. I think we need to prove that we have staying power, and I think that's my main objective as a Notre Dame fan this year. That's mainly what I'm looking at.
It's a big deal. Yeah, I wrote an article about that over the weekend, saying you're going to find out whether Notre Dame has staying power, or if they were like a blip on the radar, right blend of guys, decent schedule, got a heater in the playoff. Or is Notre Dame going to be a consistent playoff threat and build on this and be there every year? This is a big deal.
It is, and I think a part of that staying power is how Notre Dame builds off of what they did last year in terms of recruiting. I'm very interested to see how this class is going to pan out. It looks good now, like it has the past Marcus Freeman's first 3 cycles. I want to see if these kids stick, because if they do stick, I think that has a lot to say about what we did on the field last year. If they don't, man, I don't know what.
Yeah.
How are we ever going to get a top 5, top 10 class?
I think there's 2 things I'm looking at with the rest of this 26 class. Number one is that composite. You're looking at 15 4-stars, 1 3-star as far as the composite individual player rankings go. That is a really high 4-star hit rate. With the remaining 10 or so, whatever spots you have left, I want to see, does that maintain, or the further you get down the line, more your top targets are committed elsewhere, and you got to start dropping down your list, and you end up getting down with more 3-stars that balance this out? Or are they going to be able to stay at that 4-star level they're on right now? And then number 2 is exactly what you said. Are you going to be able to maintain the top guys on your commit list, or are you going to lose them? Let's be honest, Freeman's had a problem losing top guys every class. You got to figure that out.
Every cycle.
Yeah, every cycle.
Can we agree that he's failed on that every cycle?
Yes, that's just an undeniable fact. And so it's his job to figure out how to prevent that. It's his job to figure out how to prevent that. But every cycle, it's been a problem. And sometimes I wonder if Freeman's maybe too nice. Maybe he's too genuine. He says things genuinely, and he believes other people are telling him genuine stuff too, and then they go commit somewhere else. Roger Dodger says, NIL, I've been assured Notre Dame can compete, and if there's anybody they want, they can match the money. I've been told that ain't an issue anymore. And I'm also been told they're getting around to the idea you're going to have to promise young guys money. And that's not how Notre Dame's NIL started out. So I don't know, but these are fair questions. They're fair.
Yeah, for me, that's the whole thing, John. The number 1, staying power. And number 2, I'm really focused on this 26 recruiting class to see if what we did on the field last year is going to pay dividends on the recruiting trail. Those are the top 2 things that I'm looking at when it comes to Notre Dame football.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. But we've seen many summer cycles where you log into 247 and Notre Dame's in that top 5 or number 1 or number 2, and you feel good about it. You feel good about it. And then when it gets to crunch time, baby, you drop like the Titanic in the Atlantic.
Yep. Let's hope that they can hang on to these guys they have committed, because it's looking like a good class. I'm not optimistic because I'm waiting to see based off of the first 3 cycles and us losing our main guys. So I'm waiting to see on that, and I think that's pretty practical take. But I'm hopeful.
Yep. Hey, man, it's I understand these concerns. They are all legitimate. Thanks for getting everybody's heart rate up this morning. I like that.
No problem, buddy. Have a good Monday.
Have a good one. I like that. I like it a lot. I don't know. Boy. Drop like the White Sox in the standings. Baseball is dead to me. The next time I will watch a baseball game will be when Jerry is sold the team or passed away. I'm not doing it. You've hurt me too much. I'm too offended, and I'm not kidding. I'm not going to a Sox game. I'm not watching a Sox game. I'm not listening to another Sox game until the team is sold or Jerry croaks, whichever comes first. Doesn't matter to me. But that's it. That's it. Couple more chats, couple more calls. We'll keep it rolling. Tex ND. Somebody said, somebody come to the Cubs side, John, the bandwagon. Oh, it's certainly a bandwagon full of people who don't know a thing about baseball, but they know that the Cubby Bear has live music after the game. What a freaking joke. I've said it before and I've said it again. It does not matter what franchise you drop into that neighborhood, it would have the exact same appeal and success. It has nothing to do about the Cubs. You could drop any entity into a party place right by the lake, and people are going to like it. And you're going to fill up the stadium all summer, 81 times. It's a playground. It's a bachelorette party hosting facility. You out of your mind? You only go to White Sox games for baseball. You park between a train station. You park between literally the Dan Ryan with bullets ricocheting all over and a train depot. There ain't nothing to do but be miserable about baseball. Nobody ever said, let's go hang out. We're going to the Cubby Bear. We're going to the Soxy Bear. That is my argument. You could drop any franchise in the world into the Wrigleyville location. It'd have the exact same effect. It's all the neighborhood and not baseball. Unbelievable. People were saying, don't any of these people have jobs? Tex ND. That's a pretty good comeback. He said, hey, I retired early. Now I'm ready to go. That's some boss activity there, Tex ND. Oh, man, that's good. My main man, Martinez. Did you really get a ticket?
Why don't you do that right there? So I'll lift the free ball right there for you. It'll be easier. Yo, Johnny, what's up, buddy?
Hey, did you really get pulled over this morning?
Johnny, are you there?
Yeah.
Hey, Johnny, good morning, brother. How are you?
Did you really get pulled over at 5 a.m? That's a bad start to the week, dog.
Yeah, I did get pulled over, man, and got a speeding ticket. It is a bad start to the week, man, but I mean, it's kind of just a reminder to slow down, man, take my time and pay attention. You know what I mean, brother?
Yeah, it's hey, I appreciate your dedication, man. It doesn't matter how early the day is, how hard you're working, you still got time to call Johnny, boy. I appreciate you.
Yeah, brother. Hey, two things real quick. That whole I'm getting pulled over by Steven Seagal. I don't know if you guys got out there, but there used to be a show called Bob and Tom in the mornings, and this dude called in, I'm getting pulled over by Steven Seagal. It was some of the funniest shit I would hear in the mornings when I first started doing masonry.
Man, that's funny. What's on your mind? Do you have some of these recruiting concerns? Are you chilled out because it's June? Where are you at on all this? There's a little Notre Dame anxiety, man.
Look, brother, I don't want to lose any recruits, man. And obviously these kids are good enough to get signed by Notre Dame. Let's not forget that. I mean, I guess we could say, you know, recruiting class, but I mean, we could look at teams throughout history, throughout, you know, the previous, you know, college landscape, and teams that have no business competing in certain games just come in. Like NIU, right, didn't have no business coming in there and upsetting the number 5 team in the country that goes into one of the hardest places to play in Texas A&M Stadium the week before, and then they come in there and embarrass us, and we're the laughing stock of the country, right? I mean, Utah should have never went into Alabama's backyard in the Sugar Bowl and kicked the shit out of Nick Saban in that Sugar Bowl, right? So I think it all depends. For me, Johnny, it's all on how good you coach these players up. And I think we finally have found that niche. Yeah, our D-line was undersized, but you should have ran up the score on us, and they couldn't. Yeah, you know, our receivers aren't the best, but hey, man, that score should have been a lot more than just losing by about 8 to 11 points in that national title. I'm not worried, Johnny. I'm not worried. I know that, like I said last week, man, that if we drop one, they got next man in. You know, I think the players have really bought into that. And so I'm not worried, John. I'm really not. Is it a bummer? Yeah. But yeah, I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, it is. I don't know, man. There's a lot of good going on in this program, but nobody's saying it's perfect. There are things we need to tighten up and things Freeman needs to get a little better at. Like I don't understand. Like nobody's acting like everything's perfect. You didn't win the championship last year. There are clearly things that need to be improved on and worked on. I don't think anybody's denying that.
No, and that's true, Johnny. We didn't win the championship, but we did, win the first history ever home playoff game. We did go into Georgia's backyard and hand them their ass. We did continue to prove why James Franklin, can't win big games. And we lost by, maybe a touchdown and a little over a touchdown in the national title. So those are good things to build on. And like you say, yeah, it's not perfect, but it's getting there. I mean, my prediction is maybe worst case scenario, 15, 14-1, and like I think I told you a few weeks ago, worst case scenario, you go 0-2 from those two big games, and then you win 10 straight, kick the shit out of a SEC team if we get in, and keep the momentum going for the season after. Obviously, that's not what we want, but, that's my prediction, Johnny. Johnny, we're pushing hard here, brother. I just wanted to call and tell you exactly what happened on that it was a big joke, man. I love you guys. I love the chat, man. Hey, and Ronald, my condolences. I know you're dealing with that sickness because you believed in magic in the 90s. Onward, Notre Dame, Johnny.
See ya. Have a good one. I'm telling you what, dude. My main man, I don't know how good your hearing is. It sounded like he was on the set of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Did you hear that in the background? Jeez. Andrew, I think the White Sox new stadium idea in Chinatown's pretty cool. View of the Chicago skyline. I don't care. Like it's always anything but improving the actual product on the field. It's everything they do is like a shiny new object. I remember when no one was talking about the baseball, but they were talking about the s'more shake that you could buy. Like, dude, I do not care. I'm there for winning ball only. I'm not going to get distracted by your shake and whatever promo you have giving away a t-shirt before the game or whatever and a new stadium, whatever. What about the players playing? Elliot saying all of our problems would go away if we just joined the Big Ten. I don't even know how that makes sense. Like, what? How would that fix anything? I don't know how that would fix anything or make it that much easier. The money's not that much different, especially if Notre Dame's winning playoff games. Notre Dame's in a fine spot with the money. So I don't know what that's about. All right, I'm going to do real quick. I'm just going to read this news headline, then I'll get back to the calls. I'm not going to make a big deal over it. I'm just going to do my piece on it. In my Google search history, there was me looking up what kind of snake was in my garage or in my the pool area a couple weeks ago. Remember that big old snake? And so I've been Googling, trying to figure out what kind of snake that was, just out of curiosity. So then the algorithm feeds you this stuff when they see what you're looking for. And I get on there today to look something up. I'm not kidding. Here's the headline of this news story. Smuggler caught with 44 pit vipers concealed in carry-on luggage. Are you outside your mind? 44 pit vipers concealed in your carry-on luggage. Isn't there a movie, Snakes on a Plane? This is literally the worst case scenario. And the other part is, I couldn't even get one snake out of my area. How do you get 44 pit vipers in your luggage? I couldn't even get one snake out of my little area, and this guy's got 44 pit vipers in his carry-on. What's he doing? That whole thing where you do the Arabian Nights and you mesmerize all the snakes? Unbelievable, man. These flyings, they got to do something about this flying. People are getting way too familiar. I saw a video with the a mini pony as your service animal. A mini pony's your emotional service animal. What? So what do you do? What does it do? Sit next to you, or does it just stand in the aisle and dump all over the floor? It's a barn animal. I'm serious, though. I don't understand this. I couldn't get one 6-foot snake out of my little area, and this guy's got 44 pit vipers in his suitcase. I hate people, man. Yeah, pit viper, a service animal. Servicing who? The devil? Carl, I seen a video where a guy was trying to bring a baby giraffe on the plane. What What are they going to do? Cut a hole at the top of the plane for the giraffe's head to stick out, or what? I don't get it. And you know what else people are doing too, and I don't appreciate it. There are really people that need, like, they have sensory issues or whatever, or I know some war veterans that have PTSD and a dog helps calm their whatever down or whatever. There are people that genuinely, I do believe, have that need. However, people are really taking advantage of it. There are people, you know damn well, they don't need their stupid dog on the plane for emotional support, but anybody could sign up saying that's what it's for, and your dog gets a fancy vest, and then they get to sit in the cockpit or do whatever they want. People are overdoing it. You're overdoing it. And I don't appreciate, you could see the ones who don't need it as an emotional support, but they say that so they could bring their rat little dog everywhere they go. Rubs me the wrong way. I got some lady in the neighborhood that pushes her dog around in a kid stroller. Whatever happened to your dog getting some exercise? Unbelievable. Tex ND. Different reasons. Oh, God, that's funny. 219, what's up?
Hey, how's it going, Johnny?
What's the word on the streets?
Not much. Just calling in, seeing how you doing, just checking in on everybody.
You know what? I got an answer to that. Let me give you an answer to that. Here's my answer to that. Seeing the calendar turn to June has improved my mood, because I always say 4th of July is my marking point where, like, the light is at the end of the tunnel. If you could get through 4th of July, a few more weeks, we're into camp and we're off to the races. Now that we're in June, I'm starting to feel a little better about this, man. Let me get a few more weeks of this chat being half people battling and hating on each other, and then let's get some football going.
Absolutely. Hey, you know what? There's never a quiet day in Notre Dame land. There's always something to talk about. That's for sure. Either
that's
USC,
for sure.
Recruiting, it doesn't matter. Or, Notre Dame's going to join a conference, that thing every year. It's always something. I actually want to touch a little bit something on the whole conference thing. I've been listening a couple of times a week. I've been hearing everybody's, Big Ten, ACC. Hey, what about the SEC? Have you kind of noticed that we've been facing more SEC teams?
Well,
you got to think about it. The Big Ten kind of did the FU to Notre Dame. Why don't Notre Dame do the same thing and join the SEC? Hey, guess what? You want us? No, that's not happening.
Here's the thing. I just feel like academically, geographically, and historically, the Big Ten would be a more natural fit for Notre Dame than the SEC.
Right.
And do you remember when Notre Dame, what somebody in the chat will know, Notre Dame got some credential for academics you have to be in the Big Ten. And it was like last summer, and Notre Dame went ahead and got that official certificate or whatever that whatever the acronym is that you have to get to be. I just feel like that's where it would go if we need to. However, you're right. If you looked at 2029 schedule, you got Texas, Florida, and Alabama on that damn schedule. That's a tough SEC slate.
So you had Georgia a couple years ago, or it feels like a couple years ago anyways. You got Texas A&M. So we're starting to dabble a little bit with the SEC. I think it's more of a let's see how it goes. I personally don't think we'll join the SEC. That's just like, if we have to join a conference, I don't know, it'd be funny to see Notre Dame there, just kind of do an FU to the Big Ten, just how they treat us.
I really just,
Right.
for the other part is, man, it's like all of the academics and the research stuff they do. And like a lot of it lines up better with the Big Ten, AAU. Thanks, Troy. And a lot of it lines up better with the Big Ten. I guess let's just hope Notre Dame can keep having success in the playoff, making a bunch of money, and not have to worry about it. How about that?
Which is a shocker to me, how USC, Oregon, all of them on the West Coast joined the Big Ten. Like, that was kind of head scratcher where they're at in the country. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So that's why I don't feel like it doesn't matter where you're at anymore. You could join any conference. It's all on the open now.
No, it's all about money now. It's all about getting in a good TV deal. You're right. Dude, I miss the feel of these conferences being regional and like different styles of play. Like, you had a West Coast Pac-12 style of play that I'd watch at 1:30 in the morning on a Saturday night, right? Like, and then you had that hard-hitting SEC physicality with all those athletes. And then you had like down in the Big 12, play no defense, shoot them out. Like, I used to enjoy watching all those geographical different ways of play, and it seems like that's over.
Yeah, unfortunately, the college football that we all we all have different eras of college football, but if we're just going into a new era, a new format. I don't know if I love it, but I love college football, so I'm going to follow it no matter where it goes to. And I love Notre Dame, so I hope we stay independent. I think it just benefits us the most. Everybody else cries while we just do our own thing. We've been doing it ever since we opened up the school, and I feel like we just should stay the same way with the new that we can get a first round bye now. I don't see why we should be even scared to even join a conference, because being independent, we could just do the same thing as a conference champion winner, So I feel like it's more in favor of Notre Dame staying independent, which is the way I think we all want. I know I have a couple of friends who's a Notre Dame fan who wants to join a conference, which is I'm almost 30, so I'm at that mark where I want to stay independent, where a couple of my friends is a little bit younger than me, the new age fans who are like, yeah, but it's outdated. We need to join a conference. So I know you touched on that, like people who are like 20 years old and below who are fans, kind of wanting that new stuff. Like I said, I can go either way with it. Me personally, I'd rather stay independent. I mean, think of how much money we made just in the playoff. And what was it, 20-something million? Like 22, right under 22 million is what we got. Where, Ohio State had they only got 5 million because they had to split it with Penn State, Oregon. And you have to split that. Notre Dame doesn't have to split that with nobody. They get it all.
Yeah, it's
and
weird to me.
A lot of people are jealous of that. Yeah.
Especially with Notre Dame not having to give up being eligible for a bye. And the money's pretty good right now. I just don't see a reason. There's no pressure for Notre Dame to have to join anything now. The only pressure would be if USC backs out of playing Notre Dame, and then all those SEC teams want to do the same thing. And then Notre Dame has a half-ass ACC schedule and nothing else to hang its hat on. That's going to be a problem. But until that happens, especially now that you're eligible for a bye, there's no reason to do anything right now.
No, and touch on the USC thing. Wow. So a lot of people always I have a friend who actually, I didn't know that he listens to, he's an Ohio State fan. And apparently the week of the national championship, he went on their show. And he's like, yeah, dude. He's like, I like that guy. Talk about you. And anyways, he was just like, don't you hate Michigan more than USC? I'm like, me personally, I hate USC more than any other team. That's just me, right? And I feel like a lot of Notre Dame fans feel the same way, that our biggest rival is USC. And I would hate to lose that game, because I was explaining to my wife, I get excited for that game more than any other game love the schedule. I don't care if we're playing Alabama that year. I'm more excited about USC.
Yeah.
Just because I want to just punch them in the face.
Yeah.
I hate the fan base. 2 years ago when USC came down up here, unfortunately, the only tickets I could find because of that night game that we picked off the Heisman winner 3 times that game. We had to sit with the USC fans. That's the only tickets we could find. And I almost got in a fight with them. I didn't want to. So they tried to take my wife's phone out of her hands. Like, they're being rude. So the little usher came down. He removed us to like even better seats, kind of away from that group. And that just, to me, like personally, just adds that to the rival. You know what I mean? Like that hatred, the fans is just disgusting.
Yeah, it's a battle of values. It's a battle of values, us versus them, and I don't want to see it go away. I don't want to see it go away. Hey, man, I appreciate the call on a Monday. I appreciate the vitriol. Give me a call back, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, you have yourself a good week, John.
You too. Take care, buddy. How much time you got, buddy? Dude. Some of you guys, listen, I give you a mile. And then some of you people just got to go a mile and a half. Like, I have all the patience in the world. I tolerate so much in this chat. And then you're habitual line steppers. You're all like, not all. You know who I'm talking about. You guys are like Rick James. You're a habitual line stepper. Show us your face, Clay. Come on, brother. Show us your face. You're habitual line steppers. Like, you don't need to say the stuff you're saying. You guys are intentionally pushing my line to get to me. You know what you did. You know who did it. Can't you just yell about football and leave the other stuff out of it? Like, come on, you guys. Give me a break. Come on, brother. We want to see your face. Philly special. What's up, baby?
Hey, John.
Okay. So I want to set this up, Phil. The last time you said, hey, we're going on a little trip. We're going to have some fun. We're going to go do some outdoor adventure seeking. And I told you which things I would do and which I wouldn't. What is going on? Did everybody make it with all their limbs or what?
Yep. Well, after I'm done with these stories, you might not want to do any of those things.
Oh, boy. All right, let's go. This sounds bad. I see Eric in the chat. This has got to be juicy.
So, yeah, I'll give you a few quick stories here. Take a break from the football talk, and then I'll be quick and let you guys get back to it. But so, yeah, us and Erica and I and a couple other couples, we rented the Airbnb down there in the Red River Gorge area in Kentucky, and we went to do some hiking, some kayaking. We went. So they wanted to go do the natural bridge, which is like this iconic, bridge at the top of a mountain, big old rock formation. And so we went, all 6 of us drove over there to the mountain, and they have a sky lift that takes you up close to the top so you don't have to hike all the way up the whole damn mountain. Well, we get there, and it's literally as we're walking up to the sky lift, the damn thing stops. And for whatever reason, they said there were storms coming, which it didn't storm till like 4 or 5 hours later. But anyways, so we had to hike all the way up to the top of that mountain. And on the way down, we're walking down these rocks, and Erica's behind me and some others. And I told Erica, I said, hey, you're going to have to turn around. Don't go down forward. Turn around and walk down, backwards. As always, she don't listen. She starts going down forward. All of a sudden, she slips and tumbles down the rocks.
What is happening? What was that? Did we just get abducted by an alien? What just happened? Was that literally an old school fax line interrupting with the call-in line at his work? Is that what that was? I remember faxes. That was hilarious. Give me a call back. I don't even know what happened. He got abducted. He got abducted by an alien that's doing Morse code or something. What was that? Yeah, dude, is the government looking at my lines, bro? I feel like I'm tapped, like I'm in the mob. I feel like I'm in John Gotti's upstairs apartment talking business, and the whole thing's bugged. What's going on? Oh my God, Phil, give me a call back. I'm just picturing Erica still falling down the cliff. She's still rolling. She's still in the chat, but she's rolling downhill. I've never heard that sound on these lines before. Have you? That's a new one. I've never, ever heard that before. And it was at a weird part of the story, too. Phil, I don't know, man. Try again. Something happened. Oh, that's funny. I don't know what the deal is with that. Phil, did you just get abducted? What is going on? Phil, I got you up and I can't hear nothing. I can't hear nothing. I don't know what happened, man. I pulled you up again. I couldn't hear nothing. We got problems today. 773 will straighten us out. Is it me? If it is me, I am going to be really upset. 415.
Hello?
What? Wait a second. How is your wait a second? What the hell's going on? How is yours fine? How is yours fine? But the last two are beeping.
Hey, John, I'm just glad that you guys heard it too, because I thought I was like, oh, that's it. I've lost it.
Bro, what is happening? But why would it happen twice? But then you're fine.
I have no idea. It's got to be something on his end.
I don't know what's going on, man. Now I'm all messed up. I think I'm getting wiretapped.
I was getting ready to hear about a story. I was like, okay, so what happened? Did she roll all the way down? Or did a bear come out? Like,
yeah, I know. That's a really bad time to end the story. Your wife was half rolling down the cliff, and that's all we get.
Is she still out there? I mean, are they doing search parties? Like, what's going on?
She's in the chat, so I know she's alive. I don't know if she's still rolling down while she's typing out these chats or what. Something happened.
Oh, no.
Dude, I think we're tapped here. I think we're on the watch list or something.
Oh, that is so good. That is so good. Well, let me get into it so that we can get back to him if he can get a clear line. I have a bone to pick with one of the Fox Sports guys who just did some post. And Joel Klatt, he's out there and he's talking about college football and all these other different things. And he was referring to the new system and whether it was going to go 16 or 14 and like what he thought was the best. And everybody's got their own opinions. They've got their own ideas or whatever. But the thing that frustrated me the most is that this guy is speaking about college football and he's pretty well versed, but he's not doing his research all the way, or at least he's not thinking all the way. Basically, his talking points was that it bothers him that Notre Dame just gets to play our regular season and then, in his words, slide into the college football playoff. And that we don't have to have another game the way the other teams do, like if it's a Big Ten championship or whatever. We're not playing championship weekend. So that bothers him. And so he believes that, he does this kind of like little blase thing where he's like, well, you know what we could do here? Like as if he's the guy in charge. And he says, I believe that it would be fair for us to have a play-in game
to get in the playoffs every year. Meaning, whether or not we were ranked number 1 in the country or number 8 in the country, we then had to play in the championship weekend against the highest at-large team that was left over that was not in the championship game for their respective conference. So that would have meant that we would have played against Ole Miss last year. And the thing is like, you could hear all the trolls, all the different things that happen, online, and it's the internet, man. Anybody can say whatever the hell they want and they get away with it. Right. But this guy does this for a living. And it's one of those things that you put that out for that kind of rhetoric out there. And then it catches something. And then somebody else goes, yeah, you know what? Maybe they should. And I don't think this is going to happen, but it's just the idea of like, so you're telling me whether we're 12-0, ranked number 1 or 2 in the country, that we then have to play a game that would then put us into the playoffs if we win. But if we lost, we were out. Like that. But you're telling me like all these other conferences, they get the automatic bids no matter what. Yeah. Like what is this guy's? You know what I mean? It's just not thinking it through. And he's saying it with such like, I don't know, just such craft and just such ego and just like, it's just one of those ones where I was like, I actually thought some of his points were good. And then he got to that and I was just like, what are you talking about? Like I had to listen to it about 4 times just to get through it.
Okay, now wait. Now here's where it gets tricky though. I mean, you're trying a little too hard in your mind to create Notre Dame hurdles here, but is what he's doing. Here's my question. What would he say about, I think there's 3 or 4 recent teams that are from a conference, didn't play in their conference championship, and then won the title. So what are you going to do about them? Like, is that a problem?
Right.
Like, didn't Ohio State win one at one point recently? Not the one against us, obviously, but like where you didn't even do that. Like, so does it apply to conference teams that aren't in their championship? Like, why is that? Or are they exempt because in theory their schedule is so much tougher than anything Notre Dame could play? They're exempt. Is that the idea?
But yeah, and again, but that's total BS, because if you look at our strength of schedule, especially what's going to be happening in the next number of years, it's like, come on, buddy. Like this isn't that hard to like compare. It's just people out there not doing their due diligence and researching all the way through. And he might have a bigger depth of knowledge in this whole entire landscape than I ever will. But it's just it's such a simple thing to think about of like, that doesn't even make sense on any level. It's the same thing when Greg McElroy was talking about what's his name, our ex-quarterback that went to Syracuse, about being the next Steve Angeli, about being the next Joe Burrow.
All right, let's be charitable. Like, let me be charitable with this. Number one is, I do think if you're going to do this, then you also must address any other team that could get in the playoff that doesn't. I don't understand. Like, so I have a philosophical problem with that, but not having a problem with other teams that are in a conference not doing that and then making the playoff. To me, that seems very similar. Let's be very charitable. Is this one of those things where it's like, hey, it's summer, there's not much going on, Notre Dame gets clicks, let me come up with some crazy hot take to be able to move the needle? Like, I see a lot of things in this period of the football calendar that get a lot more attention than they should because there's nothing going on and everybody's grasping for any football. Sometimes I feel like these guys whip up this stuff just to kind of get some run in the offseason. I don't know. That's the charitable answer.
Maybe, John, maybe. But I'll tell you, like, the way he was talking and his mannerisms and everything like that, it seemed like he had some kind of spite against it. Like there was something else there. There was even another one. I mean, it's starting to pop out, right? There was another one where this group of 3 people and they're sitting there yip-yapping about college football. And then one of them, who was a Alabama alum, was just like, Notre Dame should never have even been in the playoffs. We let them in, and they should be happy that we let them in. I'm all, who's we? Who are you? Like, what are we talking about here? What? Because we lost to NIU? We still smoked everybody else and then got into the championship game and came pretty darn close to winning it. So it's just this old school mind thought of who Notre Dame is and the fact that we shouldn't be in it. We don't belong. They're still thinking about, against Clemson in 18. They're still thinking about Alabama in 12. They're still thinking about all these things. and Ohio State all the numerous times. So, but this is a new era, and it's just going to take time. And it's interesting because I tend to not let, on a personal note, I tend to not let things like that bother me too much. But this one got to me because I was like, this isn't just some schmuck. This is somebody who's been on there, been doing it a while, and has a pretty big, fan base. And he's sitting here talking like as if this should happen. And I'm like, I don't know if it was just a kind of a lure out there so much as it was, no, you know what? They need to earn it. And it's like, oh, okay. So yeah, you think we're just playing a bunch of, Purdue's every single week. And that's not the case.
You know what? You know what I think is going on right now? I sincerely think there's a lot of this frustration. Tell me if you agree, but I feel this. I think there's a lot of fans of other teams and conference affiliated people that it's in their DNA to discredit everything Notre Dame does and never give them credit for anything. I think those people all across the country are agitated that the other people in these board meetings with Bavakwa deciding all this stuff, I think they're frustrated that group seems to respect Notre Dame more than they do. And they're mad about that because they want it stuck to Notre Dame, get in a conference or not eligible, whatever. I think there's a lot of that frustration of these people that are anti-Notre Dame, and they're mad that group's playing nice with Notre Dame, eliminating the playoff bye tax and all this stuff. And I think that's a part of this. And it's like, are you mad at Notre Dame or are you mad at the people that are offering Notre Dame things? You know what I mean? Like, who are you mad at? Are you mad at Notre Dame for taking things offered to us? Or are you mad at the people in that room that are playing nice with Notre Dame and not trying to lock them out? Be mad at them. Don't be mad at me.
Right. And I think that to each their own, right? Like every single person is going to have a reason as to why they either like or dislike Notre Dame or have something against them or whatever it might be. Just the same reason as to why each one of us as Notre Dame fans have a certain level of strength of desire or need or passion to keep the USC game. There's a number of them that are just like one of your callers before just said, like, hey, some of the younger kids are like, hey, let's join a conference. Who cares about USC? Da, 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 da. And it's like, woof, that's a tough one for me. Like, when you start thinking about for others who are a little older and we're thinking the history or the times we watched it with our parents or whatever it might have been, that strengthens that kind of desire to have that continuous traditional game every single year in and year out. It's the same thing on the other end with why do people have it? Is it because of the fact that they applied to Notre Dame and didn't get in? Is it because that they're actually Michigan fans and they hate Notre Dame? What is it? But each person is going to have it. But this one was just weird. It was just a weird take because it was so open-ended and I had like 15 questions that I would have been hammering him right away. Like, so what about the runner-up in the SEC or the Big Ten? Oh, they just get to go in. Plus two other teams who might have 3 or 4 losses. But if Notre Dame has 1 or 2 losses, they're out because maybe they had a bad day against an Ole Miss or whoever the hell it is. Like it made no common sense, Yeah,
it's man, it's just if you have in your mind that you're going to wake up every day and be anti-Notre Dame, you can make anything work. You know what I mean? Like the way my brain gets all like networked up with all these different things. If you wake up and you got that hate in your heart for Notre Dame, let it out. You know what I'm saying? Like if that is your shtick, you can always find an angle. And I totally get it, man. If I was a fan of one of these other teams or conferences, I would probably do it too. Find a way to rip Notre Dame, and you're the outlier. And when you're different, and everybody's going to look at you different when you're different. And so you're looking for an angle to nail the people that are different. And then when you pair that up, then not only do they live differently, but they have all this pride, but they haven't won a title since the 80s. That's going to annoy people too. There's a lot of reasons to not like Notre Dame. It would be a lot easier if people would just admit Notre Dame is a unique place in college football history, and that is why we are where we are. You don't have to like it, but you can acknowledge it. Is that not fair? Yeah. Is that not fair? But it's like, honestly, you don't have to like Notre Dame. You can hate them, but just admit Notre Dame is a very unique place in college football history, and that's just the way it is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's just like, the thing that I really respect about your show is the fact that, you could have all these different trolls. It could be an Ohio State fan. It could be a Michigan fan. It could be whoever it is. And you invite them on. And you're not going to just bombard them with whatever and a bunch of screaming and yelling and all that. You're like, wait, hold on a second. Let me ask you something. And you're like truly, genuinely trying to get through to them, to ask them a question, to try to have a conversation, to maybe reach some kind of middle common ground, if there is at all, But the fact that there's just a lot of people that just hold that kind of inner just hate, and it's just to the point where, or whatever it is, or spite, and it's just like, I don't like the fact that you don't play that extra game. So you know what? We're going to make it so that it's a playing game every single year, regardless of record. It's like, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind.
Yeah, it is. It is just, you know what, you guys, I got a bunch of people in here today that are all about telling me how to do my job. I appreciate it, all you guys, all of you producers and all of you sound engineers and people that are coming up with my angles. I'm telling you, man, you guys can feel free to start your own channel. You could say whatever you want. But there's a lot of people in here telling me how to do my job. If you want to do it, go ahead and start your own thing, and we'll see what you come up with every single day, especially in the middle of the summer where there ain't nothing going on. I mean, man, it's tough out here in these streets.
It is. The other talk that I heard about was these super conferences and like how they're trying to push it in the next 5 years. And I'll tell you, like, it's interesting. I was reflecting back and I was thinking to myself, as much as I want to stay independent and I love this, and I'm the same way as you as far as the Pac-12 and whatever, the SEC, Big Ten, ACC, like everybody has their own kind of, different style of football play. And now it's all whacked out. I mean, Cal and Stanford are in the ACC on the Atlantic coast. It's absolutely ridiculous, right? So I thought to myself, it could be where all of the conferences dissolved and then there's two super conferences and then it just is what it is. So with that being said, if that does happen in the next 5 to 6 years, when all these TV contracts run out and then they create this, I really hope that before that time comes, Notre Dame wins at least one, if not two championships, for even just obviously for obvious reasons, but then for the other added reason of just before we get into this whole mess of everything's going to change and it creates a totally different dynamic and something that maybe we're not used to, and it bumps the schedule all weird, and who knows, and we could be losing a lot of different traditional games. Obviously the USC games might be going out the door, the Navy, that kind of traditional stuff. So I don't know, man. It's coming to a crossroads. I think 2031 is going to be a really interesting year. And even before that, 29, when we're playing all those SEC games, to see how it is that they're building this, if they are indeed going to.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. I don't know, man. When you were different and you were the outlier, you're going to take some heat. So this is just the way it goes. And some of it's fair, some of it's not fair. I just feel, I don't know, man. It's just, if you wake up with that Notre Dame hate in your heart, you're going to find a way to get there and use whatever angle you need. And people are always going to do that. So whatever, man. Hey, thanks for giving me a call on a Monday. It's just, this is wild today. I don't know what's going on.
I know. Hey, John, quick question for you. Were you thinking about doing a like Charlie Kirk type of thing? Because you were talking about you needed security. Were you trying to think about going to different campuses and then debating?
Yes.
You were, weren't you? Oh,
I was going to do that. I was going to do the Charlie Kirk, Steven Crowder, Notre Dame's better than you. Change my mind. Yes. So, but I'll probably die. I would probably die. So I need really good security if I'm going to do that.
Oh, get Goolsby. You'll be good to go.
Yeah. So, yeah, get him and the old lineman, and then we'll be good to go. So, yeah, that was going to be the plan, maybe, and start in state. Maybe go to Indiana and try it out at first and see how it goes. But I love it. But I need legitimate security for my protection.
And let me heal up, and I'll meet you out there.
There we go. Let's do it. Have a good one, buddy. How much time you got, buddy? How much time? Oh, boy. Let's see. Phil.
I'm back.
What the hell happened?
I have no idea. All of a sudden, it sounded like you were slamming the keyboard. I just kept hearing like beep, beep, beep.
Dude, I sincerely think that we're getting wiretapped, bro. They're on to me.
Yeah, you or me. I'm not sure either way, but yeah, I thought I got abducted or something, and I was just hoping to make it back before the Notre Dame season started.
Yeah. Okay. So when we revisited this story, your wife was mid falling off a cliff. That's a bad time to leave us hanging, literally.
I just wanted to make it suspenseful.
Dude.
But no, she started tumbling down rocks, and she got to the bottom, and I was, of course, we all thought she had broken bones, but thankfully she just had scrapes and a bunch of bruises on her.
Like how many rocks? You say falling down the rocks. Are we talking like 20 feet of rocks or a 500-foot cliff? What are we dealing with?
Oh, I'd say about 10 foot. I don't know.
Oof. Okay. Anything else? But that's unfortunate. I hope she's doing better. Anything else? How did the zip line work out for you?
Okay, I'm getting to the zip line real quick, so I'm making fun of her after that and giving her a hard time after, of course, once she's okay and all. So we go whitewater rafting, and first off, we're heading down the river on the rafts, and like I said, there's 6 of us, so me and my buddy flip out of the raft and get a hold of the current. It takes us down into all the rapids. My buddy about drowned, got sucked up underneath, and finally we made it out of that, and then they get us back in the raft, and we're just going along, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere on the right side of the river is like a little small campfire, and we're like, what the heck is this? And so we all pull over on the rafts, we get off, we start going up, and the one of the guides says, hey, follow me, you're going to see something cool. All right, of course we got to do it. So we start going. Well, there's a stream coming down this mountain, and there's all these rocks you got to climb up to. So as I'm climbing up these rocks, all of a sudden they're all wet from the water, of course. My foot slips. I slam my foot and my shin into the rock. Now I'm bleeding. I got a blood fall coming out of off my legs, like off the clip of my foot. And so then, of course, I'm bleeding everywhere, and I go back down. I get back into the river. I'm sure I'm probably going to come up with 10 different bacterial infections. Maybe I'll just change my screen name to Phil with hepatitis A. And then after,
you guys are collecting all of the injuries I tried to warn you about.
Yeah, I know. And then finally we get to the zip line, and these zip lines, it goes from mountain to mountain. So these zip lines are like 3,000 foot long, 300 foot above the ground.
I don't know about this.
So we get over there, and they put these harnesses on, and they got these harnesses, I mean, so darn tight. I mean, it's just squeezing everything, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So every time you're on a zip line and you go to the end where they stop you, you know what? Yanks you right up the middle.
Yep.
And so Erica gets up, and you have to be a minimum of 100 pounds, or heavier to do this. Otherwise, you're too light. And she gets up there. My wife's a little over 100 pounds, and she gets on the big long one that goes from like one mountain all the way to the other mountaintop, 3,000 foot long. She starts going down the zip line.
No. I think I know where this is going, and it would make me freak out. Let's see.
Yep. She gets about 3/4 the way down. All of a sudden, she stops.
Bro.
And she starts going back towards the middle of the zip line, in between 2 mountains, just overhanging 300 feet above the ground, just sitting there. So some young guy comes up. Of course, he wants to be the hot shot and show off. I got her, guys. I got her. He jumps up there, and he clips onto that line. My wife's just dangling 300 foot above the ground. This guy goes out there, flips onto her, and then puts his junk right in her face and starts manually grabbing him with his biceps, pulling himself back on this zip line all the way back. He gets off. My wife's shaking because she's terrified to death, from what just happened. He gets off and looks right at her and goes, well, at least you got a good view.
Dude. This does not sound very relaxing, Phil. Everything you're saying would stress me out. This does not seem that. How long did this all take? That's the other thing. Like, how long, from the time this began until it resolved, how long are we dangling around here?
Oh, I would say it was probably, I don't know, 15 minutes.
Dude, I don't know. I don't like
Maybe
any of
20.
this.
I can't remember.
I don't like any of this. I don't like any of this. I just don't need these problems, man. Like it's plenty exciting for me to watch somebody ziplining and I'll just live vicariously through that. I don't need this. I don't need this.
Well, you're not 110 pounds anymore, John. You're like 185. So it shouldn't be a problem for you now.
Oh, yeah, I could get that momentum and keep it moving. That is, I'm telling you, she got beat up on this trip, that poor lady. Jeez.
Yeah, I know. I almost became a widower.
Man, poor Erica. I hope she got to have a nice night out and drink a couple to wear off the pain here after all this. Jeez.
Oh, yeah. She got her hands on some Fireball when we got back to the Airbnb, so everything's good now.
Man, I'm telling you.
But hey, John,
That's rough. That is rough. And I feel vindicated. I warned you that I didn't like the way this was going. And look at what happened. Everybody should listen to John from now on.
Yeah, I guess we should take your advice. Well, hey, I'll let you go, man. I just wanted to share those stories with you real quick, and I'll let you get back to talking football with the boys.
I'm just glad that everybody's in one piece. I'll hopefully see you guys soon. Erica, God bless you. Jeez, that's rough. I am just gonna say this. I did my thing about liking the pushback and liking kind of having trolls and having a reason to go after this, different stuff or whatever. Some of you are pushing it though. Like there is a line and you know what you're doing. You know who you are. You're habitual line steppers and it is starting to annoy me. So when you cross those lines, I'm convinced you know exactly where they are and you're crossing them. So I'll have to do like a small child. And so you're going to go in timeout and then you can learn where that line is if you can't figure it out on your own. So some of you know exactly what you're doing and it is pushing my patience. I said it again. You know where the line is. So with certain things, I don't know what it is about this Monday. Certain people are pushing it. And it is what it is. So I'm just throwing that out there. And I crying belly. Yeah, quit being mean, guys. Yeah, I understand it. Go to another show where everybody agrees with everybody and see the leeway you get there. See, I can't win no matter what I do. I give the most leeway of anybody in the niche. And then if I clamp down at all on certain things I don't like, then you're just like everybody else. I understand it's the internet. You're never going to win. But that's the thanks I get for giving such a long leeway. When I do pull something in and stop it, then it's just like, that's not good enough either. So I don't know. You know where where the line is. And some of you are pushing it on purpose. I know you know where the line is. You're pushing it. See what you could get by me. And I'm trying to prevent that. 949 on the line.
Oh, shoot. I just got out of my car. Hang on, John.
Sorry.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it. I'm learning a lot for this show. We got the Always Irish tailgate zip line coming up.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to build a zip line from the top of the Jumbotron all the way across campus, and you can drop beers to the tailgaters. There's an idea.
From touchdown Jesus to the south end zone.
I like that. You could go, and it is in a steep angle from the top of touchdown Jesus over the stadium, and you land right in there. I like this idea. You know how much you could charge people for that?
It depends on if bail is included or not.
Yeah, no kidding. I think that's a good idea. I'm gonna reach out to Bavacqua about that one. You know how much you could charge for a zip line from the top of touchdown Jesus over the stadium? This is $1 million idea.
It is. I would like to be second in line behind you for brokering the deal.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. What's on your mind, man? What do you make of any of the actual football arguments made today? Anything on your mind? Just this, we have a weird vibe today on a Monday. I don't know what to make of it, but there's a weird vibe. It's a little annoying. I don't know what's going on.
I'll touch on the Joel Klatt situation. He's just disgruntled because Lou didn't offer him. he wanted to come to Notre Dame so bad. But I want to reach back because this is we're 90 days out to the day.
Yeah.
So that's pretty special. With regard to USC, my friend tells me, the booster and alumnus, he says they are all pissed and they are ready to just send the AD, Jen Cohen, and Lincoln Riley packing. They want the rivalry to stick. It's just as special to them as it is to us, and they've confirmed that he's just out of touch.
Yeah, I have seen some of the reporting that there's some boosters and donors that are saying, like, if you guys don't renew with Notre Dame, you're not getting my money. You're out of the family's will. Like, I am seeing those reports, and that makes me happy because it's like, at least I know there's some people on that side that do understand what this rivalry means, big picture, and value it that much. But I have seen those reports on Twitter of people being like, you know, they're complaining, they're upset, and they're not going in the will, and they're not donating all that money.
One of the big ones is Petros Papadakis, his father. Petros he was a lineman for USC. His father was big-time booster. He had all the Greek restaurants and stuff, and he was part of the Wendell White and Matt Leinart controversy involving money, etc. But they're fed up. And Petros is probably the number one USC announcer in Southern California. He's got a big voice. He's gone on the airwaves and said, "Who the hell is Lincoln Riley?" So this is getting fun.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I love seeing pressure applied from their side as well, and we'll see what happens, man. I don't know, but there are some people in the USC fan base that really do value this for the right reasons, and withholding your money might be the only thing that works. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? That's all I got. 90 days to the day until kickoff here in Miami. God bless you. God bless everybody listening, and go Irish.
Oh, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Mark with glasses. What's going on, buddy? How much time you got?
Hey, what's going on?
What's up?
Talking about the Irish predictions.
Oh yeah. You mean the show I've been meaning to do the last 4 live shows and haven't done any of? Is that the one?
Yeah, well, it's coming on, but we've got plenty of time to revisit it. We're really just gonna continue to talk about it anyways. But yeah, I got 15-0 as of now, beating the Buckeyes. You can burn that box of chocolates. And I thought it'd be a great idea when we have that championship party, we can invite Kent to the party, but we'll just give him the wrong day, time, and address.
Yeah. Be like, Kent, you're a long-time caller, man. We got to have you at the party. You've been involved in all of this journey. And then he shows up, and it ain't even the right weekend.
Right.
Got him.
That'd be great.
I think even Kent's going to laugh at that one. Come on, Kent. You know that's funny.
Yeah, and Jay Carr's got me doing stand-up at the party, too. But could this be
Mark, I just hope you're able to stand up at the party. Any more pizza injuries?
I'll send you a picture of my foot today if you want.
Oh, man, no thanks. I don't like dudes' hooves, man. Never have, never will. No man should ever have bare feet unless you're on a boat or in a water. That's it. I don't like dude hoof. I don't like dude moose knuckles with hair shooting out. Paul Bunyan's coming out the side. Guys don't take care of their feet. It's disgusting.
Fair enough. But my question to you, maybe you and Goolsby can do a deep dive on one of the Patreons on this, but how historic a season could this be for Jeremiah Love if he's kind of featured in any way, like the statistics he could put up. He had like 1,100 yards last year and just 163 carries, and our quarterback had 184 carries. So, there's going to be a lot of carries available to go around this upcoming season. And the record for most yards in a season is only 1437 all time. So, I mean, you got to think that's in sight. And then the record for most touchdowns in a season is 18, and Love and Leonard had 17 last year. So there's a couple records right there I can see falling.
Man, wouldn't you think that I just feel like Notre Dame knows what they have with this guy. Like all those things Goolsby's been saying on Patreon are getting into my head about like knowing what you got and you only have him for 1 year, ride him hard and see what he could do personally and for the team. Like the Notre Dame staff's got to see this and know this and cater to this, right? Like it would be almost negligent if you didn't. Like, I know you want to do the whole, like, everybody's going to get their touches or whatever, but don't you have an obligation to change your plan when you have a guy this different? I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's what Goolsby's been kind of championing, and it just makes sense. I mean, the guy averaged 7 yards a carry. Why not give him the ball? He's the best player on the team, so give him the ball the most times possible. There's no amount of carries that's going to be too many.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, feature him in and out of the backfield. Like, there's just a ton of ways you can use him as a decoy to open other things up. He's just too electric, dynamic to not, we have to get our money's worth out of this last season of having maybe the best running back we've ever had. And I think we're all in agreement. He's one of the most talented running backs, if not the most talented we've ever had. It's just a question if his numbers are going to kind of put him in that category to look back and justify that, where it's not just the eyeball test and the, insane highlights.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, man, I don't know. This is, they got an asset there and they know it. And I think Juwan Cider, whatever we're going to say, knows it. Like they know it. So how are you going to set this all up to maximize it? For him personally, for the team, I think they know they got a gem. You got to use it.
Yeah, I think everyone's in agreement with that. But yeah, I'd be interested. What would be a realistic over/under to set his season totals at with a inexperienced quarterback? You figure, you're gonna feature him a little bit more anyways, let alone like his skill set. I think 1,400 yards is pretty low. I think he's going to get that easily.
Yeah, it's and I don't know, man. Just how will that offense be set up? What is the actual rotation really going to look like? Do we shift to more passing because you got a guy that theoretically a quarterback that's better at it? Like, is there less rushes just because of that? Like, because they could feel like could be a strength to throw it around a little bit. I don't know. There's a lot of things to think about.
Yeah, that's all I got. I was just curious if you guys get around to kind of talking about in-season specifics, like what the production predictions out of Jeremiah Love would be like realistically if you had to put money on it, where everyone kind of thought he would fall.
Yeah, it's, man.
I'm going over.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a good debate to have. And I just don't know how genuine they're going to be about dividing up these carries. I have no idea. It's going to be interesting. So I don't know, Mark, but ride your horse, baby. It's the most obvious answer in the world. Ride your horse.
Yep. That's what I say. And let me know if you want that foot picture. I'll send it over to you.
Yeah. Oh, you're going to be on feetfinder.com, bro. Extra hobby, extra money.
Oh, yeah.
I'll see you on Patreon tonight. Later.
All right, later.
Oh, man. Just, today is weird, man. You guys, this chat's being weird today. It's always weird. And I understand that starts with the host, but man, that's tough. Here's the other thing. I understand that academic argument with Notre Dame and whatever. However, man, that even if parts of it are true, it still sounds weak and weaselly to use as a defense. Do you get what I'm saying? Even if everybody agreed that it's true about, like, you know, a football factory versus Notre Dame and the academics, and that makes it harder and you're not able to recruit the same amount, whatever. Even if we grant that that's all true, it still comes off like a Weasley argument to make when you didn't win a game, right? Like, there's just, even if it's true and we all agree, it comes off Weasley to use in an argument. There's no easy answer. Beat Ohio State's the answer. Beat Ohio State on the field is the only answer. There is no other way. There is no other way. Beat them on the field. Beat them on the field. Beat them on the field. Okay? 773, what's up?
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, bro?
What's going on?
You know, I'm just smoking some crack and jerking off, you know, playing some Xbox, getting high all day, smoking dope, playing Xbox.
Okay. You're... What in the hell is going on today? What is going on today? I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it. All right, that show's over. We need to end this. This is just not, I don't like the vibe today. Shuttleworth, you donated $5. I owe you like 25 minutes another time. Show's over. I'm going to the gym. So I'm sorry. There's a bunch of people on hold, whatever. This is just, it's time. I don't know what the hell's going on at all. I have no idea, but we're making the decision, and we're going to go on with our day, and we're going to try again. So everybody that's on hold, I'm sorry. It's just today. It's over today. It's over. So, I mean, it's almost 11 anyways, but that was it. So we're done. I don't know what's going on. I think everybody's losing their minds because there's no football. I'm a little annoyed with how the show went today. I have no idea what's going on and why everybody's being so weird. But we're just going to wrap it up on that one. So I'm a little annoyed. We need football back so we have real things to talk about. This is outrageous. Shuttlesworth, I'm really sorry. You donated $5. It's sometimes the show's got to end. Everybody else on hold, try again Wednesday. I don't know what the hell's going on. It is a little annoying. I'm going to the gym. See ya.